What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Vibreville. Hope you had a great day. We got breaking news out of the Congress, bipartisan issues here. The Genius Act. I saw Elizabeth Warren freaking out, telling people, "Don't vote for it. Don't vote for it." And sure enough, we have it passing. We've been talking about stable coins, legislation being a huge catalyst from advancing this market. And now we have the first step. Like, this is hot off the press. Oh no, wait, this was earlier today. My bad. Sorry. I thought this was just happened now, but 60 to they got the 60 votes. It's official. And now we have I guess we got to go through and actually take a look at it. I'm not going to do that now, but they threw something in there that well, its page doesn't exist. Interesting. That is not going to be good. Obviously we weren't going to get what we wanted, a decentralized stablecoin. That ain't happening. Everything's going to have to be backed by treasuries. But you know what? This is one of the catalysts we need. Now we have clear-cut guidelines. Banks can custody crypto. They're going to start selling us crypto. Like, oh, guys, it's all been built out on the back end. I've been talking about this. I posted this earlier today. This 40-minute clip right here about Ripple, about institutional DeFi, what's coming in the future. And basically, the floodgates are opening. Institutional DeFi is going to be so big. It's going to bring back the renaissance that we had in 2020 when Uniswap was just being used, started to be used. Oh, man, I could see it already. They're all about yield, earning on their assets, and the opportunities coming are unlike anything they've ever seen before. They're chomping at the bits to get into this. So the floodgates are in the process of opening right now. Today was a huge day. So do not be bearish at this point. I promise you. Wow, look at Propy. Real world asset play, tokenizing real estate, where you can literally go onto the website right now and you could buy properties with ETH, with XRP, with USDC, and I think Bitcoin. I believe it's 4 assets. But I'm bullish as hell. I've been holding Propy since we got it at a quarter. Ran up to like 280 or something like that. And I think we're going to like at least $5-6. So that'll be a 25-30x from where we got in. And we're chilling. And we'll reevaluate in a little bit. What up, Sergio? What I say H, you say bar. Yep. Seeing the tickers, Pulse and XRP gives me the ick. This weekend revision on this bill was that big tech Amazon cannot create a stablecoin unless they're a financial institution. Oh, man. See, that's what I've been saying for a while, that if things go bad around the world and all these treasuries hit the market, they have these companies lined up ready to buy them and back their stablecoins. So I don't know how that's going to change it. All that, I mean, I know this stuff's already been worked out on the back end. So we're now along for the ride. But yeah, bro, I'm the only one that's going to be talking about Pulse and XRP. It's the same shit. We both went through the wrath of the SEC and now came out the other side and you're going to be way stronger for it. Circle. Yep. That, bro, I was just going to say that. That was one of the articles I'll bring it up here. Is, Ripple, it got denied. And I'm not sure why. Maybe I'm guessing there needs to be competitors out there. Like USDC is the biggest legal stablecoin in the United States. Like, there really is no close second. Is it RLUSD? Is it Paxos? Is it PayPal? Like, you can't count Tether. Like, they're out of here. But this is going to be huge. And I just have Coinbase is already becoming a neobank. They're already opening up everything. I'm pretty sure they have their banking licenses and stuff. So Coinbase will be a bank. Now, Ripple, they've been acquiring, or they just acquired Hidden Road or whatever. So I'm pretty sure that gives them access to retail and stuff. But yeah, this is what's going to happen is we're going to see a lot of acquisitions, I think, with a lot of the investment banks and the traditional system. People that are late to the party or just don't want to accept that crypto is the future. The way in for them is just acquisitions. Come in and buy a DeFi, a project, buy a company. I think that's what's going to happen. Grounded Hex, good to see you, my man. Appreciate you. But yeah, guys, I talk about the stuff here that has like a future, and it's going to be here and stand the test of time. And crypto is the wild, wild west right now. But if you can identify, like in the early 2000s, the Googles, the Dells, the Amazons, if you could have found them and bought them and just held on to them, your life changed. And what that interview right here, the biggest thing too that came out of it was earning on your assets, which that's why I'm so into Pulse Chain, because the DeFi opportunities are crazy. They're unlike opportunities I've seen anywhere in crypto. You know, I'm all about staking, earning passive income. That's the future. And what's going to be different in the near future is being able to loan out your assets. Like right now, it's a huge debacle where your coins are going to a third party. Like that's all going to change, where built into these protocols is borrowing and lending. And that's why I'm so adamant on owning the right coins right now, outside of Pulse Chain, outside of XRP. You know, a lot of people, if the XRP guys don't want to buy anything else, Pulse Chain guys don't want to buy anything else, but that's not me. I want to try to own a piece of the biggest winners across all of crypto. You know, I think the more blue chips you can find right now that have been here building, like XDC, I've been seeing so much with tokenization lately. They've been building Cubic with how much they've been building for Monero mining. Stronghold has been constantly building, all bear market. Velo has been constantly building throughout these corridors in Asia. Stellar, constantly building. Axelar, the glue to 60 plus blockchains being interoperable. The reason the XRP ledger and Ripple is going to be interoperable with other projects. Axelar is building the cross-chain atomic swaps. There's so many different projects that are going to play a piece in crypto. I don't think there's not going to be just one winner. Block V for the NFT stuff. And when we go shopping and download the Polo app, you're going to have NFTs as coupons in there. You're going to be able to track the stuff you bought. Like, guys, it's all going to change so fast. Now that we have some kind of stablecoin regulation, that brings the TradFi money on the sidelines on chain. And that's the huge first step. And once the money is on chain in stablecoins, they can go to companies like Hex Trust and say, okay, we're brand new. We got this money here. What do we do? Oh, sure, guys, come along. You know, there's this thing called institutional DeFi where you can earn on your assets. And now the floodgates just open up. That first step is the hardest in getting them into blockchain. And once they're here, moving that money on chain, I feel like that's the easier part. But we'll see. They're picking winners and losers, brother. The RUSD and X Twitter, who wants to be an all-inclusive pay app and has transmitter licenses in most of the states. 100% agree with you, bro. They're all, Ripple has gone back to what? The early 90s. If you go back and look at the early history where David Schwartz came from, Brad Garlinghouse, and then go look at Tammy Camp, CEO of Stronghold. And what's the other guy's name? Sean Bennett over there. Where'd those two come from? Oh, Tammy was the first woman ever hired at Ripple. It's like these people aren't, it's not organic. 100% agree with you. It's all about who you know. And that's why I'm adamant on the projects I shill, because I've done the research and pretty much come to the conclusion that these are chosen winners. The partnerships they have, the NDAs that are signed, preventing you from actually finding out what's going on. It's all done on purpose. But there's breadcrumbs that are there. And it's on everyone to find them. And when this switch happens, like people are when all these banks and celebrities and institutions start coming out that they hold XRP, the whole sentiment, all these Bitcoin OGs, they're going to start coming out. Oh, yeah, we knew Ripple was going to be the one. We knew it was the one. They're all going to start pivoting. And we front ran all of that. And it's going to feel so great to be right here over the next 6 months, 12 months, and year moving forward. Nothing really going on right on Pulse Shade. Dragon X up 10%. Morpheus up 8%. Let's go. Want to see that ecosystem. Got Titan X rocking and rolling. Man, there's just so, even on Pulse Chain, like the opportunity with the people's Bitcoin, this stable coin thing now, if PDI ever came back, that narrative, all of the P copies, if they start pumping and get to their ETH counterpart, and now you tell people, hey, you had your bag on ETH, you now have the same bag over on Pulse Chain. People will come over. Spectre, holy shit, over $3. Let's go. That's how fast these things move. These small market cap coins, guys, they're so volatile. But man, that's why I hold. I got it. I get in early and I hold. I have a long-term horizon with crypto. It just makes it so much easier. Getting into Spectre, I found it at 25 cents. I don't think I got in until like 45 cents or so. I just kept pushing it off because GPU and these other coins were pumping back then. But I finally pulled the trigger. And this thing, I think, is going to go to $25. You're sitting on 400 coins. That was $1,000 or $100 back when I was first talking about it. Could turn into 10K. There's 100X right there. All the DeSci stuff. Look at this. I told you guys when I first found it, like May 9th or something, I found the DeFi or the DeSci stuff. Told you about Research Coin, Brian Armstrong's project, Noble Blocks, Dynex. And on Friday, Ivan's researchers must be watching the channel or something.
Some kind of decentralized science. They also had some announcement a few days ago. I will not play the whole video, but it's also on Solana. They're doing some decentralized science, doing research. Let's actually check quickly what it is. Some 2 million emergency room visits a year together to share data, to run algorithms, to develop some sort of a small software, put it somewhere. And people are very controlling. So blockchain fits because it levels the ground. It makes everybody have access. Anyway, so they have this decentralized science. I mean, this is what I love seeing when there are startups coming out announcing that they build stuff, and it's happening again. The last time I had this kind of feeling of activity, it was in 2021. Then it was a lot of building on Polygon, building some game, building some NFT. But now there are so many things happening, so many startups launching left and right, like all the time.
Boom, exactly. DeSci is a freaking huge narrative. CZ's obsessed with it. He's shilling Bio. And Research Coin and some of these other ones are already up like significantly since we found them. And hopefully you guys got into them because this thing is the easiest 100X ever. Research Coin. I think it was like 30 cents or something when I first told you guys about it around here. 32 cents on May 9th. It was either 9th or 10th, and now it's at 60. So that's almost doubled up. What about Poseidon? Yeah, May, they're not. Yeah, so this thing's up at least 20%. And Dynex is the only one that's kind of down a little bit, but I don't give a shit. I know I see the future in this. One tweet with the model and showing how fast it is and how much better it is, this thing immediately starts ripping. I don't know what's going on, but I love a chart that looks like this. I don't want to be buying up here anymore. When these things are running right here and everyone's posting like 5 green candles in a row, and then it's coming down 80%. Well, this came down 80%, then 80%, and then another 80%. So luckily we got in at sub 3 cents. It's like, I think it was 2.9 or something when I found it. And I just bought more. So keeping that that buy-in lower. I think we're pretty much done dumping, but who knows? That's a $2 million market cap. And then where's the other ones? Bill Nye. Oh, is it not on here? Damn, Bill must not have any volume. But it's a cool AI agent. I really like it. And yeah, it's gone. Oh well, whatever. That's one of the risky ones. But Noble Blocks, I love this coin. Noble Blocks, Research Hub, Poseidon, those are the gems. And Dynex, I think. So that's the narrative. You got to front run it. You front run narratives that are upcoming. We've been talking about the same stuff over and over and over. And you buy early and just hold, guys. That's it. It's that easy. What are my thoughts on Pulse Pup? It's like a Pulse Shade ETF. I don't know much about it at all, bro, to be honest with you. I don't. It's like an Pulse Shade ETF. I mean, like ETFs are great for the TradFi, for like the centralized stuff, but for DeFi, I mean, there's so many yield opportunities now. Why do we need something like that? I guess, but I don't know. I don't know about the project at all. What's going to be different about the new XRP ETFs is you're going to be able to earn on them, right? So you go and you throw 10,000 XRP at it, you start earning a percentage per month. That's going to be the game-changing stuff. That's what's going to flood money into the XRP ETFs. I don't see that opportunity with Bitcoin. I don't know how there's opportunity for yield on them, unless you bridge it over to Flare or something like that. But now you're just going so far away from the native blockchain. But I don't know anything about it, bro. What up, Camo Joe? Appreciate you. But these are some gems right here, guys, for DeSci. It's a narrative that's coming. Ivan just told you he hasn't seen anything like it since 2021. He wants more utility. He says we need more utility. And AI and decentralized science are the perfect match for blockchain and crypto, in my opinion. So I'm super bullish. That's what I've been loading up on the last week or two, and I'm pretty much done. King on Pulse Chain. This is a gem. This thing keeps pumping. Look at that chart. I shouldn't be looking at the hourly, but look at that daily chart. Look at the month of May. Just printing green hammer, pin hammer candle, shooting triple star dojis, followed by the bearish engulfing candle, retesting the upper wick. And now we're just trending and we're about to bust through and just rip to the firmament. There's my TA. Bullish AF looking. And King is paying you back. Pulse X, Most, and Teddy. So I think it was, I want to say it was down. Where at the end of, yeah, I swear it dropped to 0 from when I started really adding to it. Because I got the initial airdrop and I waited a little bit. And like the end of April, after this candle right here, I bought my entire bag down in here. So we chilling now, collecting those rewards. Same thing with Alien and Enki. And my P-dye printer. It's actually been doing really good. I bought 2 more of them at like $50 or something down here. And I've already printed, I think I'm up to like 175,000 since I got into the ecosystem. I sold almost all my P-dye. And then I bought the printers and just kept flipping them until I ended up with, I think, 2.5 or 3 of them that were just moon bags and just let them sit. And then I've scooped up another one. So I have 4 right now. That's right. And they're just printing P-dye. And if it comes back, great. If not, great. I don't have to worry about it. I'm hedged in both ways. And I'm still holding some beast. I don't know what the hell happened with dominance, the rewards. They just decide to cut them off. That shit pissed me off. So I consolidated it into beast, and I think I'm holding like 300 beast now, which, you know, it is what it is. The volume is starting to drop. You know, it was at a million, over a million for a consistent amount of time, and now we're at 118K. So I don't know what's going on. That's the problem with these ecosystems. It's high risk, high reward, and you got to be paying attention every day. I don't know. Doesn't rely on retail buys and sells, but deep liquidity bonding with pulse chain tokens. Check out the chart. Oh, it's already out. Oh, this is the OG Web Chef coin? Oh, I'm out. Fuck that. I'm out of this ecosystem. I'm done, bro. The delusion's getting way too bad. I'm holding beast. That's it. And the PDI printer, because I want the PDI. I think Sami's going to keep pushing it. The stablecoin thing is coming up. Now there's going to be people talking about this. Is going to be a narrative that won't stop. How many X's on King? 100 easily. If you just hold. What's up, Prairie Banana? Appreciate you. PTGC. I mean, I just look back to when PTGC and UFO were moving. When Pulse Chain did a 4X back in here, I think Pulse Chain or PTGC did a 40X. Like every time Pulse ran, PTGC and UFO ran harder. I don't know how that changes. I don't know what would break that. You know, the history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. So maybe we do half of that. So Pulse Chain does a 5X, we do a 15X. Perfect. I'm happy with that. I just don't think. That's why I really don't hold. I hold no Pulse. I hold a little Pulse X and a lot more Ink compared to Pulse X, but that's it. So I think Ink will do the best out of all of them. So I put it all in the PTGC and UFO months ago, just because the passive income on it. You forget about your wallet, you come back, and I got millions of UFO that came back, and now it's only that like maybe 50,000 PTGC. But it's crazy how fast those yields pile up, and then to think if they could 50x from here, oh man. And that once these things get to a certain point, we just need to figure it out as a community how to just create volume and just keep volume going. Like once so much of the supply is burnt and locked up and there's nothing liquid, like why would you sell the golden goose? And if we could just create volume somehow and take the Dow funds and just keep creating liquidity pairs or something instead of buying and burning it, buying it and pairing it up with new coin. I don't know, but man, that's a good problem to have. I can't wait to see what these things look like next cycle. Like crypto for me is an 8-year plan. I think that's the best way to do it. You come in, you learn your first cycle, you make a little bit of money, you retire your next one. That should be how it goes. But the chances of that happening moving forward for people that are brand new, I don't think so. But now with regulation, everything, like the banks, they want in on this money. They're not going to let it just funnel to DeFi and these exchanges. Oh, you know what? Now I think about the stablecoin stuff. They're just going to acquire exchanges. That's what's going to happen. There's going to be major acquisitions, and that's going to be their way around regulations and just direct access into crypto. Yeah, Rod, it was just getting too much. You know, it was all right at first when nothing else was pumping. There was nothing going on. PDI was being fudded to death. The chain was fighting. It was cool as a distraction, but now it's at the point where it's too much for me, bro. I don't want to have to pay attention to it. Pi Network, the biggest rug of 2025. And I remember BitBoy on one of his last streams shilling Pi Network, talking about how he mined so many tokens and he couldn't wait to sell them. Like all I've heard for years is people have told me, bro, I wasted so much time mining that damn coin and I couldn't sell it anywhere because you had the KYC or something in the wallet and they would never approve the KYCs. I knew 4 people that were waiting on their KYC approval so they could sell the coins. And now, sure enough, someone dumped 12 million tokens and just wrecked this thing. That's funny. $8 billion project scamming their holders. And meanwhile, the good people out here building like Switch.win don't get any promotion from the community. Like, this is the solution to onboarding the masses into Titan X right here. Switch.win. This plugin can go on any single website, right? So you're Miggles on base. If we could reach out to them, I don't know if they have a website. We could have a Switch.win plugin right on their website. All right, Miggles doesn't have a website. So let's see. What's a different one? Bonk. I know that's on Solana. AION. What was it? AION crypto. I don't remember the AION. What was the thing? 5100. All right, that was it. But so every project that has a website, we could reach out to and say, hey, would you like to have an aggregator writing your website? So if people want to get into AION, right on their website, you pull it up and there's a link right on there to swap. Every project has that ability to have it on their website. So it's on us to start reaching out to communities and saying, hey, we have this aggregator right here on Ethereum. So for GPU, right here, nodeai.app, where you come to their website and right here, instead the GPU token, you can buy it right on this website. Buy it right now. Connect your wallet. Buy right here. This brings value. It saves the companies thousands of dollars, and you're going to them with actual value. You're not leeching. You're going to them saying, hey, I can bring you value. Here's how, for free. And that's a great icebreaker. We could do this with every project, and that's how we start to grow. Switch.win on a bunch of different websites. It's saving everyone money. All the end users get a better deal. Why wouldn't these guys want this? Easier access to their coin right on the website, saving them tons of money. Like, this is how we build for the future. And this is the stuff that I want to support. And that's what I'm going to be doing. So, and you guys know founders with projects on Ethereum or Base right now. Hopefully it's coming to Pulse Chain in the future, but that's a while away. If you guys know anyone, this is how we grow right here. Icosa, perfect example. app.icosa.pro. You come to their website, and right here, there's a DApp right here. Buy Icosa on Ethereum. Buy Hedron on Ethereum right here. So that's how we win. Why is the Fed quietly buying billions in bonds and hoping nobody notices? Guys, there would have been a no bid on the bond market. Okay, it should be collapsing right now. That's so when there's no buyers and the Fed has to come in and vacuum up 43 billion in treasuries, 8.8 billion in long-dated 30-year bonds on May 8th alone, plus another 34 billion earlier in the week. Quietly returning to the quantitative easing isn't standard Fed housekeeping. It's like a bank robber returning to the scene because he forgot his car keys. Let's talk straight. This isn't tightening. It's stealth easing. It's monetary policy on tiptoes. Some traders have begun to notice. And this right here, I saw a tweet earlier. Some guy deployed $5 million into meme coins today. And in the last 2 months, Bitcoin whales have gobbled up 1.2 million coins, according to Sex.io, the crypto exchange, who say that this kind of sudden accumulation is a signal that Bitcoin will soon reach an all-time high price. Sweet. Well, now we got Michael Saylor being sued. There's just never a dull moment in crypto. Like, they're going to hit you with the bullishness, then the bearishness, the bullishness and the bearishness to just hopefully make you go crazy. Back forth, back forth, back forth, back forth. It's wild. When the whole time you could just buy, stake, and earn and chill. Buy low, stake your coins out, and we'll readjust in another couple months. We talked about Circle. This is going to be huge. Whoever acquires Circle, they're the chosen one. And I guarantee you it ends up being Ripple. It just makes sense. Circle, look at the ties to it. It used to be USD Stellar. USD Circle used to be USD Stellar. Right? But they're now native on Stellar. They're native on Hedera. They're native on Ethereum. USDC is the CBDC. It can be shut down in any wallet. So we all just got duped. And now all these idiots are going to be screaming to replace cash. And now you have the wet dream of these globalists here. And then there'll be 10 regulated exchanges. They're going to weed out the weak. Yep. But what's cool, Sergio, is shit that we're building with Switch.win, where we can build our own aggregators, our own DEXs. We could build our own everything. And when you have it decentralized, like Uniswap, nobody can mess with it. And now Richard Hart just beat the SEC. And now the SEC was trying to sue Code. Right? They named Hex and Pulse Chain and PulseX as defendants in the lawsuit. Imagine if Richard lost that case. How big of a win it was for all of crypto. I don't think it'll ever get the publicity that it deserves. But that's the thing where, yeah, there'll probably be 10 regulated exchanges. But bro, everything is moving to decentralized. Like, that's where the world is going to go. Aave, look at that. TVL and Aave surges $30 billion, signaling renewed strength in Ethereum DeFi. And once assets begin to get tokenized and brought on chain, debt is issued on chain. All these stable coins are issued on chain. Now, when you're talking trillions of dollars of assets that are now tokenized and brought on chain, how does that value ever go back? How does it go away? When are they ever going to be pulled off chain? They're not. They might be transferred to a different blockchain or something, but they're going to stay somewhere on chain. So I just don't see another massive bear market coming for the blue chip coins. For shit coins, they're going to start all dying. You know, the top 100 in a year, this right here in a year from now, man, I'll bet you this list, I'll bet you 10% of these coins are still in the top 100. No, that's not true. Maybe 20. The top 25%. That's it. Half these coins are going to be gone. All these L2s, maybe Arbitrum and Optimism stay. But you don't need 50 of them. Linnea and ZK Snark, ZK Rollup, ZK, like, man, I don't know. I just don't see them. There's no communities there. They're just VC money grabs. But speaking of Bank Social, this is one that project we've been watching for a while. It had some massive ups and some massive FUD events. And I'm not going to lie, I was even starting to get nervous. You know, with some of the stuff that had been happening. But They got $1 million in liquidity, and the Coinbase hack that happened. I remember when I was talking about the NFTs. Well, one of the NFTs was the Secura NFT, which is going to help with security and all that. Well, Bank Social Secura was among the first to act following the recent Coinbase insider breach, quickly stepping in to support affected users throughout tracing, guidance, and coordinated response efforts. The breach, which involved compromised Coinbase support agents leaking sensitive user data, such as names, numbers, emails, and addresses, led to sophisticated phishing attacks and losses estimated between 180 and 400 million. Before the incident surfaced, our team was already working with impacted users, helping to trace transactions, identify patterns, and engage our law enforcement contacts to support investigations. While Coinbase refused a $20 million ransom and launched its own internal response, Bank Social Secura continues to proactively support those affected, making a real impact in the lives of those who've been targeted and helping them to take back control during a difficult time. That's what I like to see. So if banks, guys, I hear that Bank Social's actually been building. It's a United States company. They're down in Dallas. There's real people there. So we'll have to see. You know, the idea of it was just perfect. It made so much sense. It's so needed. Decentralized banking that's insured. So all of us that are crypto OGs, we've been here for a couple cycles. Having to hide your seed phrase and you being a sitting duck is ridiculous. All right. We need to be able to hold our assets in a decentralized vault or something where it's secure. And that's why I love Hedera so much, because of the new decentralized recovery, the DREX system with your friends, where you share a portion of your data with 15 different people. And if you need something, you got to verify through them. If you want to recover stuff, like this is all being built. That's why it's so important to just hold these assets right now through all the FUD. And when they're actually needed to be used, like this right here, Secura, how big is this going to be now? They'll be the go-to for hacking, for recovery in the industry. And that's how you make a name for yourself and build a sustainable business. And yeah, anyone, like there's no stock or early investment into private equity that's just smooth sailing the entire way. Like you got to hold through some shit to make substantial gains on the other side. For you to be the one person to see something where 99 others don't, you got to be crazy. You got to hold through volatility. Like nothing just comes easy in this world like that. Like the FUD and the doubting yourself and why is this coin not pumping? That's the price you pay for 100x on the other side. And I didn't understand that until recently. You know, so Hedera is a monster. I like Bank Social and Saucer Swap. We've been talking about them for years. I was into them day one. It's such an amazing DEX. They do everything right. They're community ran, and they just bought back 1 million sauce using swap fees and staking rewards. And Gugad posted, there he is right there. The APY is 36% right now on staking. And I've been staked for 3 years now, a little over 3 years. And I'm up like 12,000 coins, almost 13,000 coins now, just from staking. 38.5% right now. Let's go. I love it. I hope it stays like that. Let's go. Because it was at like 4% last year, the end of last year. So we're 9x the rewards. I'm going to have to check my account later because that's amazing. The Saucer Swap is going nowhere. This is going to be the number one DEX on Hedera. And I think this is easily going to $5 a coin. Easily. Like by 2030, this coin is going to be multiple dollars. And right now you can buy it for 4 cents and stake it and earn 38%. So even if this drops down to 10% over the next 6 months, you stake your bag and you earn 20%, you could sell that and probably get your initial back. And now you're free rolling with no risk moving forward in one of the best DEXs on one of the best blockchains in all of crypto that people are absolutely sleeping on. 100%. So guys, I think we're going to turn around real quick. The FTX payments start and like 10 days from now, $5 billion is getting sent back. Like, I think this is the retest of a lot of these lower fib levels, and then we're going to just start pumping like crazy. I don't think the FUD is going to affect us anymore. What up, thoughts? Pulse chain EX rise, true DeFi, to fly. Well, we need to be told anything by cap ass wannabe celebs. Fuck out of here. Exactly. Yep. It's disgusting. I had to just focus on other stuff, talk about other shit like Morpheus, Titan X, the DeSci projects. Like, this is Brian Armstrong's freaking project. The CEO of Coinbase owns a project that is helping to change the world for the better with scientific research. You don't think he's going to put money into this? You don't think he has a passion for it? Oh my God. And it's at a $68 million market cap. You know, already, but that's fine. Say anyone that listened and then you got in when I first told you about it, it would probably been around here. 33, 34 cents, under 40 cents. And now you're already up 50%. Like, that's winning in crypto. You know, it's like, that is, it hits the narrative of DeSci, which is going to be huge. CZ's already shilled it like crazy, talked about it, been to the conference in November with Vitalik. He's put millions into bio. And when people start looking into bio and the pre-sales on there, they're going to start finding Poseidon. They're going to start finding Research Hub, Noble Blocks. And that's how it goes. It's not just going to be throwing a dart and making your 100x this cycle. You're going to have to really, really know what you're doing and pick either AI, DeSci, real world assets, or like real DeFi 2.0. That there's going to be another big push into like Aave, synthetics, compound. All of DeFi is going to blow up again. Yeah, bro. I'm there at 3 times a day. I just crossed my 10 sauce in my Hashpack wallet because I swapped for a little more and staked it all like a month ago. And now I'm back over to 10 every day at like when I wake up in the morning, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and 9 o'clock at night. Get my 0.3. Get those couple every week. Bro, I just know, like, when it goes to a couple dollars a coin, like, bro, this is going to still be hundreds of dollars in free money. Yep, that's right. Yeah, it used to be 14.4 when it first came out, the faucet. And then it dropped to, I think, 3.3. And then they dropped it to 1 and now down to the 0.1. But we've been collecting the entire time, bro. Now the 38% staking on top. Oh my God. That's like, these are the gems right here, guys. These are the opportunities that you want to be into. Pulse Chain, insane opportunity. Titan X, insane opportunity. And then the blue chips outside of DeFi. Hedera, Stellar, XRP, XDC, Quant, Flare, and then the altcoins in those ecosystems. Stronghold, Velo, and then Cubic and Jasmy. Yeah, Cubic, the AI gem. Jasmy, the real world asset play. The what do they call it? The Japanese Bitcoin. Like, this coin is going to go to $1. There's a 50x for you. But it might take a little more time. That's why I bought it at 0.000 something a couple of years ago. It was less than a half a cent. So I'm up, what, 5x almost now? And no one's heard of Jasmy. But the gems are out here, guys. You just got to find them. Go against the herd. Go against the grain. Anyone that's not funding your project at this point, it's almost a red flag. I've realized that. If it's all low IQ FUD, you need that. You need the dum-dums out there running around, spreading misinformation, and just keeping the algorithm going. That's just the way the world works. And I think a lot of people are going to be very mad in another 6 months when they come to find out Bitcoin was the Trojan horse. BTC I don't think it stands for Bitcoin. I think it stands for battle tested coin. And the exchange rate peg, I mean, XRP, the second crypto ever created. The first was Bitcoin, hijacked by the NSA, I think, after a couple of years. And then Ripple was built as the real solution to Bitcoin. And then you spend the next 12, 13 years behind the scenes building out the infrastructure to now settle the back end of Swift, the stock market. And I think the biggest one that no one's talking about is Codius and the derivatives. I think that's where it goes eventually. Everything is documented. There's breadcrumbs, there's trails of evidence, and where there's smoke, there's fire. And when you spend 5 years researching something, and I look at it objectively, I try to find, how am I wrong? Who's going to replace this? All right, these people are fudding it. Let's see if it's actually true. And all the FUD that I found, it's all surface level that can be broken apart or disproven very easily. What about the graph? I like the graph, bro. I have a bag of it. It's on here somewhere. There's the graph. I like the graph a lot. You know, it's I Trust Capital. If you guys don't know what I Trust Capital is, it's a phenomenal website where you can move your IRA or 401k into crypto. And when I did this 4 years ago, it was unheard of. But now it's starting to become popular. And there's a smaller list of coins on here. You know, they've added a lot in the last 6 months, but the graph was one that was on here where I wanted some kind of exposure to like AI and that niche of the market. But no, I like the graph. I've been holding it for a while. And I think an important thing is that you got guys like Crypto Banter and some of the bigger mainstream guys that talk about it. So that's really important in my opinion. And getting the newer people that come and watch those bigger channels, that they're all shit. You know, even Elio Trades, I think, like the graph. But $1 billion market cap, I think this thing could easily 15, 20x. And depending on if it blows off top or not, like I would say like 40 billion would be the max that this could get to. Like if everything went well and we just saw an absolute snowball into crypto. But no, I like the graph. I've been holding it and I will continue to hold it. How many networks are supporting? Wow. 90 plus networks supported by the graph. That's great. Globally distributed, decentralized infrastructure. What makes the graph so resilient? A decentralized data market powered by distributed participants, indexers, curators, delegators, and subgraph developers. Yeah, I like the graph a lot. But now, would I be holding the graph if it wasn't in I Trust Capital and it was something for this cycle to make gains on, or for like a longer term play? I don't think so. I would be more into Cubic, Axelar. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, and like Scale. I really like Scale too, because I like these coins that you could lump them into a couple different narratives. Where with Scale, it's kind of like you can move it into gaming. You could say AI almost, DPIN. Like that's what I think is is why I kind of went with Scale here. Where's the website? Here we go. It's just so slow. But I just like how if different narratives catch on, they can easily ride with it and just kind of pivot their marketing or something like that. I think Scale's potentially a sleeper in there, but that's the thing. I don't know if it wasn't holding in iTrust Capital, it's tough. It's tough. What up, Luke? Appreciate you. Was no anarcho crypto good guys running dick. No, I think early. I think the founder of Bitcoin was Sergey Ivancheglo and some of his friends over there, the Cubic founder. And I think after a couple of years, they had a vision for it. And then I think it got hijacked by the PayPal Mafia guys, in my opinion, or the NSA. I don't know. But Bitcoin started off as actual peer-to-peer, decentralized, with a vision. And I think by 2012, that vision was completely gone. And that's why you saw a lot of those guys pivot away from Bitcoin back then. And Roger owes a lot of taxes. And he's now, I think, on the run still. I don't even know. I don't pay attention to it because there's so much other incredible stuff being built around crypto. Look at Spectre, guys. Let's go. Up to 312 now. This thing's running like crazy. So here we go. And this is how I know certain coins are going to run. When Spectre runs, it kind of Spectre and Propy front run the rest of the market for some reason. And Rio too. I don't know why. Last cycle, it was Chainlink. Chainlink led everything. This cycle, for me, when I see Spectre running and Propy running, I know alts are going to start to move within the next week or so. It's really crazy. But this got $30 million market cap, and they got $1 million in lock liquidity. Look at the buy volume, 70K versus 24K sell volume. Spectre is a friggin' gem. Yeah, this thing could easily. What am I saying? This thing is going to get to friggin' $100. This is going to get to $1 billion market cap. AI is going to be the hottest thing ever this cycle. AI, real world assets, and gaming. That's it. And then DeFi 2.0 is you can combine with all of it, earning yield on these incredible assets in these other ecosystems. You can kind of tie it all together. Do you think that entropy in the system, manipulate or not, will initiate the age of parity? Gains are still there, but it'll be pretty tepid, uniform, no more. Yes, I do, but I don't think that's going to be for another 5 years. I think that's going to be when AIs are in full control of everything. When we have our own AI agents that are running everything for us, I think that's when they're bracing everybody now for the volatility in early crypto. Look at the stuff you see in the stock market, how volatile stuff has been the last couple of years. I was talking to one of my neighbors, shout out Big Tom, and he's been around and paying attention to the market for years. And we were talking about the volatility you see now. 5 years ago, it would have been a crisis. You just never would have seen a 20% dip in a top tier stock like that. It just never would have happened. So I feel like they're bracing people for the volatility of crypto and of moving towards this new system when all stocks are tokenized and you can just buy and sell any time of the day, fractions of stocks. You can loan out your stocks. All that's changing. But I think it's going to kind of be the wild, wild west for the next 2 cycles. I think this is going to be the rinse with regulation here is going to kill a lot of cryptos, and only the stuff that actually has been building for the future legit is going to survive. And then after that, I think we have one cycle of where we see big gains. But bro, this is the last time I think you'll see 500Xs. or 1,000Xs. I really do. Like, they're really clamping down on everything. And Bitcoin is going to be 20 years old in 4 years. And I think by then, Bitcoin's going to be a thing of the past. I really think when the Ripple ETFs come out, they're going to suck up so much liquidity. I think there's going to be some sort of catastrophe that happens in Japan, some kind of crisis with oil, or their long-term bonds just keep going up to where they have to raise rates. And that's going to cause just a flood of treasuries hitting the market. It's going to cause liquidity crises across crypto. And I think Ripple's going to be there to save the day. And it's all orchestrated. This has all been rehearsed and coordinated behind the scenes for it all to fall in place. And you're seeing Europe's having huge problems right now. There's countries that are in worse shape than Greece was. It's really bad. But I think, like, how do you have these insane gains and stuff when you have 50,000 AI bots out there trading and market making and grabbing every penny that's available? Like, I just think it's going to be such a PvP world over there that people are going to just be done with it and say, you know what? I'm going to take my XRP and I'm going to just put it here and I'm going to earn 2% per month. And if XRP goes to where I think it's going at easily $20 to $50 by the end of this year, if you have a $50 XRP, you got 1,000 coins, now you have $50,000 and you can earn a couple percent per month on that. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's now you're talking like there's half of your income is now you don't have to worry about. And that's where I think the right assets are going to just keep going up and up and up to where people say, what the hell's going on? How is this even possible? Why didn't they tell us about this stuff? But bro, I think, like, but on the other side of that, I look at something like Hex, right? And yeah, there's not going to be 500,000x gains, but for the people that were in Hex early and were staked and got entry points down here, when Hex goes to $5-10, like, we're going to be making 10,000 X's, but it was over a long period of time. Like, that's one thing Richard always talks about is zoom out. Over time, the good projects win. He built Hex to be a better Bitcoin. So this is a long-term game. So even if this cycle Pulse Chain doesn't pump and Richard shakes everyone out, and then next cycle we get the Giga Pump, like, I still think there's room for it. I think we have one more cycle left after this of big time gains. And then I think by the end of 2028, 2029, AIs are just taking over everything and extracting every penny that we would have been making doing, whatever. But yeah, bro, I think, yeah, each cycle they're going to be progressively less and less and less. But certain altcoins, yeah, they're going to do insane. The PTGCs, the UFOs, but finding them is just going to be that much harder. And yeah, where can we get yield with our XRP? Can you plan the process? Yeah, so with the ETFs coming out, that's why the in-kind thing was so big. With Bitcoin, they were fighting for it to where you can cash out and cash in with Bitcoin. And they passed that. So now with XRP in kind, you can now go to some of these ETFs, give them XRP, and now start earning a percentage back. These ETFs are going to come with like a dividend or like an APY attached to them. But once I'll definitely keep you guys posted. I'm going to be doing it. I'll probably be showing it too. And I think another place is Flare. That's where you're going to be able to take your XRP. It just opened up in the last maybe week or so. the F assets. And this is where you're going to take your XRP, bridge it over to Flare, and now DeFi is there. Can confirm everyone in TradFi is talking about XRP lately. Like Flare, guys, is a sleeping giant. It's like 2 cents right now. And this is the way you bring value to XRP, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin, all the networks that don't have DeFi on them. You bridge to Flare, and now, boom, you've opened up the entire realm of DeFi to these networks that do nothing. But I'll definitely keep you guys posted. It's going to be through the ETFs. You're going to be earning yield. But if you want to do it in a decentralized way, it's going to be through Flare. But I'm super excited, bro. Like, that's where all this is going. And that's why it's just so important to buy the right cryptos right now and just hold them through all this FUD. We're going to see the space really start to change now that stablecoin regulation just got passed. Everything's going to start to happen so fast, and people are going to get left behind and not know what happened. So just owning them is the most important thing right now. I promise you. Yeah, they're going to tokenize everything, bro. Everything that has value, they're going to try to tokenize. And we need to front run that. But we know the networks that this is going to happen on. They've already told us it's going to happen on Stellar, Ripple, and Hedera, and a little bit of ETH. ETH is going to be the one that they use this cycle to keep Ethereum relevant. But as we move forward, ETH is not the solution. It's not. It's this whole game is rigged, from Bitcoin and Tether propping up that price to $100,000 to ETH, the shady shit that happened into it early. Like it's just criminal what goes on, but that's the world we live in. There's nothing we can do about it, but inevitably the technology is going to win. And the tides are turning right now. Like, literally tonight was a historic moment in XRP's history for all of crypto. You know, we now have clear-cut guidelines that show us how to do this stuff. And that was the biggest question. Everyone was saying, oh, it's a gray area. We don't want to break the laws. We got to do this right. Well, now it's all here. It's all coming together perfectly. I hope you guys starting to see there's going to be multiple winners in this space, and it's all about just owning the right assets right now. And in time, you'll start to understand how significant they're going to be in the next financial system, in earning you income. All these cryptos right now, I look at as little businesses where you put to work and earn yield on you. And now my saucer swap business is earning me 38% a year for some crazy reason. So that's how you got to look at crypto. And I hope you guys got something from this. If you did, smash that like button and go watch Jake Claver's stream right now. It's on. He's just went live at 10 o'clock right here. Jake Claver, QFOP, Quantum Financial Officer pending. Watch this stream. He's plugged in with R3 with Ripple, with the SEC, with Anchorage, with custodians in the business, with the players that are decision makers in the space. So coming straight from the horse's mouth, that's where you want to get information from. So watch his stream. I'm going to be there right now too.